Guys, welcome back to What's for Lunch. Today we have a very special episode. Zlatan Ibrahimović is coming into the office. Probably the craziest guest to come through, if no, definitely the most famous person. Whether you're a soccer fan or not, he's massive. He transcends the sport. So he's coming in. We're gonna make him Swedish meatballs. I don't even think he knows he's gonna eat that. I think it's part of his team that said, you know what, make him Swedish meatballs. He doesn't have time to be on the full show, so we're gonna do an episode just showing you how I make it. Hopefully he comes in and tries them and likes them. But this is gonna be a fun one, guys. Let's get cooking.
I'm a private chef, cook for money, yeah.
All right, guys, Swedish meatballs. They're pretty simple. They're not that complex. The meat that we're gonna use is I have some chuck and I have some pork butt, and I'm grinding it myself because for Zlatan, we're going all out. We're making this as fresh as possible. We want the best quality. If you don't have a meat grinder though, don't worry. You can just buy ground pork, ground beef, ground chuck. Just make sure it's 50-50 mix, and we're doing a pound total. So half pound of beef, half pound of pork. That's our ground beef. And then for the grinder, if you're grinding your own meat, you have this attachment, stick it in the freezer before. If it's cold, it doesn't gunk up as much. The fat tends to dissolve and gets all clogged. If you have it nice and cold, that won't happen. Turn our grinder on. The only real difference between Swedish meatballs and regular meatballs is just the flavor. The beef and the pork is usually the same. That's what you're gonna find in regular meatballs, but these are gonna be flavored with some brown sugar, a little bit of allspice, some nutmeg, some white pepper, and then onions and garlic get cooked and mixed in there. And then the sauce, they're served with a gravy on top. For meatballs, whenever you're grinding meat, you don't need an expensive quality cut of meat. You wanna use the chucks, the fattier, the pork butts, the pork shoulders, that kind of stuff. All right, that's all there is to that. We have our mince right there. Next, I'm gonna take it one yellow onion, half of the yellow onion. We're gonna finely slice this, mince it up. You can use a grater. If you wanna use a cheese grater and grate the side of it on the thickest, that will work too. Or you can just do a fine dice. I don't know tons of Swedish dishes. I know that a big dessert they do is strawberry and cream, which is literally what it sounds like. They pour heavy cream over strawberries, add some sugar. I think for that to be really good, you have to have the freshest strawberries, and I think in Sweden they're gonna get a lot better quality strawberries than we are here. And then they have like haggis. They have a lot of like those Nova Scotian type fishy blubbery meals that I'm not too familiar with. But yeah, honestly, most of my knowledge of Swedish food comes from IKEA, which isn't bad. They have pretty good food for being a store that you buy frustrating furniture from. But I tried to spend a night in IKEA in China, so that might be my one Swedish connection I have with him is if he likes IKEA. I tried to sleep in one overnight, did not go well, but a fun experience nonetheless. Okay, so here I have an onion. You really want this finely minced because you don't want to get a big piece of onion in your mouth when these are in the meatballs. So that's why if you shred it on a grater, you can get that same effect. These are served with a traditional gravy. Swedish meatballs are usually with potatoes, steamed or mashed potatoes. You serve it with a simple gravy, which we'll make on top. And that's just like any gravy like you're making for Thanksgiving. You have roux, you have butter, flour, and then you add beef stock to that. That's about it. It's a very simple gravy, but delicious. Okay, onions chopped. Let's get some garlic sliced here too. And sometimes it's served with, I think, Lungdomberry. Very hard to find. That I looked for, I couldn't. Usually you serve it with the gravy and then the berry sauce on top, which I guess is similar to cranberry sauce, but I didn't want to substitute that because I wasn't sure how similar it is. Okay, next I'm gonna take some heavy cream. You can use milk, about a third cup of heavy cream. We're gonna warm that up because then we're gonna mix it with a third cup of breadcrumbs. I want that milk and those breadcrumbs to be mixed first before they go in. Here we have some allspice, some nutmeg, a little bit of cloves, some ground ginger, and some white pepper, 1 egg, plenty of salt, and some brown sugar. Okay, and now I have some butter in a pan here. I'm just gonna saute off those onions and the garlic. I'm gonna wait to put that garlic in just so it doesn't burn. Now I'm sauteing these onions, and then this cream is warm. Our breadcrumbs are gonna go into that cream. That's just so that those all get incorporated nicely. They absorb that cream, they soften up a little bit, and they get mixed better into that meatball. Garlic can go in now. Make sure the onions and garlic get seasoned as well with some salt. But then once they get golden like this, that it's perfect. You don't really want them to brown. That can go in. Now we can just mix this all together. Now the key to making meatballs, the meat will start to stick to your hands, so just wet your hands. Make sure and don't dry them. And for Swedish meatballs, they're on the smaller side, but with nice wet hands, that meat's not gonna stick. Depends on how big you make these, but like a pound of meat will probably make anywhere from 20 to 30 meatballs. Okay, now that our meatballs have been shaped, the next step is to brown them off. So we'll get a nice saute pan, and we're gonna use butter for this. And we're not looking to cook them through in this stage. We just wanna get a nice browning on each side and keep that spherical shape. And if your meatballs sit for too long on the board or the bowl, they're gonna get a flat spot and then not the most even shape. So you just give them a quick roll before and put it on that opposite side so the weight just kind of evens it out. And you really wanna just try to roll these over so you're gonna get one side. With a perfect circle, it's hard to get every side. So you wanna just keep rotating. No, don't just do one side and then another, then it's gonna sink and look like a burger. So try to just angle it one side, flip, and just rotate it on through so each side has some color on it. And then once you get good color on all sides, you can kind of give them a roll. And that's looking pretty good. So what we're gonna do next, this is optional, but I like to save all the fat. You have all that good butter, and then all that fat that's rendered out of the meat. I'm gonna save this to make our gravy. So I'm gonna reserve some of that fat. This part is optional too, but since Zlatan is coming, he's a showman, we're gonna do a little bit of a showman preparation of these. I got some cognac. Get this nice and hot. Brandy goes in. Take your torch or your lighter, and bang. Now that alcohol is gonna burn off, you're gonna have a nice quick flambe. To finish these off, I'm gonna put them in a smaller pot, only because I wanna use less beef stock. I could keep cooking them in this, but this just makes it easier to cover them. I have to use less liquid, you'll see in a second. And I have some beef stock here. And what I'm gonna do is cover these in beef stock and then bring this to a simmer. And these are gonna simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes, just until they finish cooking all the way through. But right there, all the flavors in the pan. That brandy has a nice sweetness to it. It's gonna be delicious. As these are cooking, we'll make our gravy. All right, our meatballs have finished cooking here. They've been simmering for about 30 minutes. Now we're gonna finish off by making the gravy. So we're gonna take that fat that we took out of the initial searing of the meatballs. I'm gonna take a strainer. I'm just gonna pass it through this just to make sure we don't get any bits of onion or beef in there. Not that it really matters, but if you want a smooth sauce, just do it like this. To that, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of butter and then about 2 tablespoons of flour. You just want equal parts fat to flour ratio whenever you're making a roux. This will then just whisk until that flour is completely cooked out. Okay, once that roux is cooked, we're gonna go ahead and pour in all the beef stock that our meatballs have been simmering in. This I'm gonna pass through a strainer as well. This has a ton more flavor than any beef stock from a jar. Give that a whisk. A little splash of heavy cream in this. And then of course some salt and pepper, just to finish that off. And boom, just like that. We have a beautiful gravy. I think Zlatan's coming in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We're gonna feed him. Hopefully he has time to eat. Hopefully he likes it. But here we go. Yeah, I got some right here. Okay. I got some ready.
Should I bring it to my team or?
No, you gotta get the first one.
What is the difference between a meatball and a Swedish meatball?
Nah, not much really. It's just there's some spices, some seasonings in it, some onion, but it's pretty simple.
Served at a furniture store?
Oh, yeah, the IKEA.
IKEA's great. Okay.
I don't know the berries. I couldn't find lingonberry.
The what?
Oh, you know the.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been in Sweden?
I've never been, no, but I know the cuisine.
That's pretty good. Want one? Come on. Yeah.
Come.
Try, Ben. You used to live in Sweden. It's good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Nice.
I'll take it. What's your favorite Swedish dessert? You like strawberries and cream?
No, it's good, but I'm abroad like 20 years, 25. I
Okay.
don't even remember what kind of food we have.
Where's the each team you play for? What was the favorite just for the food, the cuisine? What country? Italy.
You don't like Italy?
I like Italy. I like
like
French.
France?
French
Yeah,
better.
French
I'm a French.
He's a French cook. Where did you live when you went to
Avignon, down south, by
Is that where
Marseille.
you did your?
You did a whole
Yeah.
summer last
Summer they're cooking there. Yeah. Yeah, that was
Italian
good.
food is good. I mean, you have many options. French is the like hot, you like but good.
It's good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Quality, high quality.
good quality.
Those are good.
You like them? You think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
good? One more?
Yeah, I'll take one more.
Take another one.
I can always eat.
It's paradise here. You brought chef
I
on
know.
purpose, not for the show, just to eat.
If
Then
you
at
want
the
more.
same time you
He
use
cooks
it.
for us all the time.
You use it
Yeah.
to eat and that.
This is the best place in the world to
Come on,
work.
I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
take one
Yes,
more.
take
Yeah,
one more.
let's
Yeah,
go.
of course. It's not bad,
You have a
right?
restaurant also?
I do, yeah, just on the weekends I run a pop-up for the summer, a French, like
okay.
a tasting menu, 5-course restaurant, yeah. Yeah, it's been fun.
When you like the show?
The show's
enjoy
great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We get all different kinds of guests on. They pick the food, and then we make it together. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
No, good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, chef. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, there you go. Good job. All right. Guys, and remember, every crave-worthy bite tastes better with Pepsi, especially Swedish meatballs. That was insane. Zlatan Ibrahimović, our biggest guest yet. Shout out to Pepsi. That was incredible. I can't believe we got him. And he liked the meatballs. Cheers, guys. See you next time.